Hello and welcome to Dogphilo. Still in the context of the aggressive dog, and in the approach of how, we will answer a very practical question: how to prevent and correct the aggressiveness of the dog. The aggressiveness of the dog is not an end in itself. There are corrective techniques to overcome this major defect, but the most important is the prevention, hence the usefulness of good education of the dog. 1. Teach him to stay calm in all situations that could trigger the hunting instinct. 2. Make the dog live with other animals such as kittens, rabbits, chickens, and prevent him from chasing the birds, even by game. Socializing with subjects belonging to another species is not a definitive thing, but requires frequent attendance, and is not a generalizable phenomenon. If a dog and a cat cohabit in peace, it does not mean that the same dog accepts all cats. He will be able to attack another kitten entering his territory. Do not allow him to run after joggers, cyclists, or cars. 3. Accompany your dog to the presence of children and their noises. There is no special treatment for predatory aggression, but it is possible to intervene by accentuating the master's authority over his dog. It is therefore important to teach him the basics of obedience: sitting, rest, and especially come. To teach your faithful friend the meaning of come, take him to a large field, far from the road, and let him frolic to call him back at your pleasure. When he correctly executes your order, reward him with a treat or a caress. The first few times, you can use a retractable leash that facilitates the recall. If the dog, on the other hand, escapes by not obeying, does not insist and does not punish him, especially when he comes back, because he could associate the return to the punishment and, later, not approach by fear. Quickly turn around and move away in the opposite direction. The dog, seeing you no more, will come back to look for you. Let him come near, without trying to catch him by the collar, and order him, sit. Rewarding him with a treat, then resume the walk together. When your dog becomes obedient, recreate the situation that triggered his aggression, retaining him at the beginning with a retractable leash. This type of intervention works when the dog attacks his prey in the presence of his master. Another way to correct this behavior is to desensitize and unpack the dog. It must be presented with prey by associating it with a pleasant activity. You will start by showing your dog a cat, a car, or a person in a situation that is not a cause for aggression. Live prey while sleeping, cars, and people when they are still and at a safe distance. If he remains relaxed, you will reward him with caresses or a treat. You will then bring it closer to the prey. It may be useful to control it by holding it on a leash. Or it will start moving faster and faster. If the dog sketches a reaction, you will stop it with a dry no and resume training at the previous stage. To be really effective, the no must precede by a few seconds the action that one wishes to prevent. Obviously, during the training, it is necessary to avoid the unexpected which pushes the subject to attack. The punishment is difficult to correct this behavior, and to use it must be very clever anyway, because the animal must associate with the prey and not his master. You can try throwing a bucket of water on your faithful friend or frightening him with noise when he begins to follow a potential victim. If the dog associates the unpleasant experience with the pursuit, negative reinforcement. It will not start again. When it reacts well, that is to say, if it stops, it must be rewarded immediately by caresses or treats. Positive reinforcement. The simultaneous use of systematic desensitization and deconditioning techniques to treat predatory aggression. It requires some experience to achieve good results and is not without risks for the master and his dog. It is, therefore, better to address a behavioral veterinarian, because predatory aggression is sometimes a symptom of certain behavioral pathologies. In particular, the syndrome of sensory deprivation. Predation concerns species with which the dog does not. Or the hypersensitivity-hyperactivity syndrome. That's all for this module. Thank you for your attention. The next course is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to interact with your dog.